I would have rather sent home Nic and Olandria on last night's Love Island than Clarke and Taylor. And I say that as someone who has been rooting for Olandria since day one on Love Island. Now, this is my first season of watching Love Island, so maybe this is the way that it just goes. At this point, we barely have any couples that are closed off, and we're nearing the finale. So to send home one of the very few couples that are actually closed off and seem to really be into each other and really have chemistry just doesn't make sense. I've criticized Taylor this entire season of Love Island because I don't think he was giving Olandria enough. But it's clear after last night's episode that he is very into Clarke. I think that Nic and Olandria are a beautiful couple. I've had mixed feelings about Nic, but I absolutely love Olandria. I think they have a great friendship. They seem to really get along. I just don't see the romantic connection here, especially after we saw them kiss and Olandria said she got instant friendship vibes. I think maybe I'm just having a hard time getting that out of my head when I see them. I also have very conflicting feelings when it comes to Huda on last night's episode. I think it's great that Huda is trying not to repeat her mistakes that she did with Jeremiah. She doesn't want to go back to this. She doesn't want her relationship with Chris to be like her relationship here. She wants to do things differently with Chris. She acknowledges that a lot of the Love Islanders had an issue with the way that her relationship with Jeremiah went down. I think that that is a genuine, valid point. However, there is a way to communicate it with Chris, and this is not it. When Huda had an issue with the way that Chris was acting when they had their fake baby, which I thought was ridiculous, Chris sat there, listened to her complaints, and took it into consideration. He was extremely respectful of the way that she felt. But on last night's episode of Love Island, Huda was not giving him the same respect. And I can't blame Chris for feeling a certain way that Huda doesn't even want to give him a peck on the lips. I would think that someone was not into me as well. This is why I am just really hoping for Amaya and Brian to win this.